where you been and where you going. This is Ari's travel show, yeah. We're gonna talk about travel today. It's You Be Trippin, yeah.
Hello, everybody. This is my announcer voice. Welcome to You Be Trippin, the podcast that takes you all over the world. The only podcast in the history of recorded stand-up television that takes you all over the world. Today, my guest is a true traveler, is a hilarious comedian. He's got a new special out on YouTube right now. He's a true traveler among comedians, legitimately. One of the only guys in comedy that really fucking gets out there and gets lost. And he'll be on this podcast multiple times. But today's the first. Please help me welcome my guest at home. Literally clap at home. For Louis Katz, everybody.
Hello, thank you.
A Ronin,
Thank you.
as David Tell calls him. One of my favorite David Tell.
Yeah, that is nice.
He has no master.
I have no master. I just roam through the comedy dungeons and.
Where are we going today, Louis?
Louis is right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got it right. You got it right the first 3 times. So I thought we would talk about this trip I took after I graduated from college over 20 years ago. Me and a couple buddies spent a month in India.
Yes. Very nice. Let's see what we got right here.
Yeah,
India,
right
if
there.
you're watching on TV.
Yeah. Yes. Northern India is where mostly we went. It's a huge country.
It's huge.
It's crazy how long it would take to actually see. I mean, to see all of it would take a year at least. But even we saw a good part of just the north while we were there.
Now, you'll be interested to know this because I looked it up. You said I want to, let's go to India for my first one. We'll do other ones too. But India is still there. 20 years later, still a country. So a lot of this will still be relevant.
Well, the funny thing is, the weird thing that made me think India with all this is that I'm reading that book, the Salman Rushdie book, Midnight's Children.
Okay, is that the one that got him like death
No,
credits?
that's Satanic Verses.
Okay.
This is about, it's like a story, but it's also about the birth of India. So like India's still there. India's only been a country since 1940 whatever.
Really?
You know? An independent country.
Does it predate the Jews?
Before that, well,
how did they get such a big one?
It's been there. It just hasn't been a unified country. You know what I mean? Like it's been a unified, independent country since 1940 something.
Oh, interesting.
So that's like actually kind of recent when you think about it, because
there's people living there before.
People have been living there for thousands and thousands and thousands of years.
Oh no, I remember like scouting out where the British are and trying to they needed us to like plant bombs and like to see what's available.
Yeah, all
I'm
that
like,
kind
what?
of shit.
He goes, yeah, it's 12. This wasn't Israel.
Yeah.
I'm like, you predate Israel?
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah,
it's crazy
must be
to think
people
that.
in India now.
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, there's people that predate it for sure. I mean, it's just, well, when I went there, it was like the most intense, hardcore traveling I've ever done.
Had you been there before?
Never been there before since. And I know being colonizing places wrong, evil. But honestly, in the year 2001, just as a tourist, it was hard for me for 4 weeks. Props to the British for coming there and taking over the whole country, because I don't know how you could do that. It is a intense, wild place.
What do you mean? You talking about smells? Let's start with smells,
Dude,
I guess.
Start with smells. It's just everything. I would say not start with smells. Just on top of everything I'm saying, add potential smells on top of that.
Okay.
It's just like I don't even know where to start. It was part of the reason I wanted to go there was when I was I studied abroad in Brazil.
Okay.
And it was between Brazil and India. Not because I knew a lot about them, because I knew nothing about them. They sounded exotic to me. They sounded crazy to me. I just didn't know shit about them.
I love that.
And in the end, I went with Brazil, and then I was like, Brazil's really cool, but Brazil
for your study abroad.
Yes.
Okay.
Is like kind of like a weird bizarro United States. You know what I mean? It's still kind of similar in a lot of ways.
In what ways? What are you talking about? Like big cities, McDonald's?
Well, it's the New World. It's very there's a mix of different kinds of people there. It's not one homogenous people. So right there's a lot of similar things.
That's what I say about Australia and Canada. I'm like, they're all the same. Call the United States, call it just a group of whatever. Well, it's just like the animals are a little different, but like you're not going to be like, what is this?
Well, Brazil is. Well,
it's got to
say this for the Brazil episode. Okay. It's way different than that. It's like what I mean, bizarro. It's like, they have like 3 times as many slaves were brought there, and they kept going with slavery like 30 years later than
Brazil?
Us. Yes. So just as an example.
Okay.
But we'll talk about that
another time. Yeah.
Let's get it off this power saving mode. Let's turn this on all the time. Yeah. Okay. There we go.
69.
All right.
69. Do you know that's a sexual move?
What?
69.
Teach me.
I'll show you afterwards, but it's like it's a reversal of fortune, and that's all I'll say for now.
Reversal.
I don't want to surprise for you, but let's just say I haven't showered today.
Exciting.
So you're how old are you when you go there?
I'm 21.
21 years old.
Yeah, I'm with two of my buddies. We're 22. Just graduated from college. It's 4 weeks in India.
How much hair did you have?
And then 2 weeks. So much hair.
Oh
Although
my
while
God.
I was there, someone was like, "You think too much. You're gonna go bald," and they predicted it. That's what
Wow.
happened. Yeah.
Do you think that's why Jews go bald?
Yeah, probably. It's all I'm
Guys, I
thinking.
don't know if you know this. I'm also Jewish. I also think too much.
You got to keep it long just to differentiate between the two of us.
Yeah.
We should have a pact where we
Yeah.
have to keep
You're
different
you're
hair.
Bizarre.
Bizarre, yeah.
Bizarre Katz.
Different hair and different facial hair and head
Yeah,
hair
yeah.
at all times. But it was just so
You went with your buddies.
we went with our buddies, and I'm just going there to see something. I want to see something really different, right? And we actually connected through maybe Thailand first, and then went to India from Thailand.
Interesting. Okay.
Right, which
Sounds
was
over here.
I think that's I don't know why we did it that way, but I think that's what it was. I'm in Bangkok for a night. I'm like, this is just like this isn't that different. As soon as
You
we
come
land,
from the West Coast. You're at San Francisco, right?
yeah, we're in LA. Yeah,
I could see stopping there.
yeah. I think what it was that because we
Go
wanted
to
to end
Hong
up in
Kong.
Thailand,
Uh-huh.
we bought like a 6-week round trip, and then a cheaper local trip.
Oh,
I
interesting.
think, if I
Okay.
remember correctly.
Okay.
We get to India and it's like automatically just like it's so different, dude. It's so different. Like,
What do you mean? Like what hits
well,
you?
first of all, I planned the
You know,
whole
by
trip.
the way, the pillow's up to you.
Yeah, I know. I'm
Okay.
deciding what's comfortable and I'm moving around.
Okay.
They're a little itchy, you know?
They're a little itchy. That's why
Um,
they're not in the fucking
I get
other
it.
room.
I get it.
They were relegated to
Yeah,
here.
man, I get it. You don't want to. You rub up against that, you're like, ooh, it's a little burlappy. But I planned the whole trip. My friends don't plan it at all. We're like, what are we? We're 4 weeks in India. We have no plans. Literally, I have. So
That's the
this is-
best way to.
well-
I mean, go ahead.
Yeah, but we only have 4 weeks. We don't have months and months. You know what I mean? You gotta. We don't even know what we want to see. We just have a
Right.
ticket. We don't even know what's there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
Okay.
you have to at least know what's there. So this is pre-internet, so I'm just Lonely Planet style. You know what I mean? I'm just going through the book on the way there. I'm like, I guess we do this, and this.
It is fun to research something on the plane to the place.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Uh-huh.
Like, I guess we because I didn't know anything. I knew the Taj
Wow.
Mahal.
Taj Mahal.
That's it. I knew the Taj Mahal. I didn't even know that wasn't in Delhi. You know, I don't know shit. I don't know anything. So I'm figuring it all out on the way there. And part of
Is Delhi the same as New Delhi?
I said it. I just made it. I said it.
Okay.
That's the cool way. As I
Okay.
said it, Delhi. You know, because I
Yeah.
was like, you should know. You know, I guess you didn't know. Not that cool. But so in the book, they're like, these are the scams you got to watch out for, and they warn you about the scams.
Wow, they have a section of the book
They have a
about
section
the
about
scam.
scams.
That's how much they are.
Yeah, but here's this thing about the crazy thing about the scams is they tell you to watch out for them, but once you're in them, you're just like, oh, this is that scam I read about, and it's just happening to you, and you don't know how
Like
to undo
what
it.
kind of scams were there?
So we get there. There's this whole thing about like you got to take the right taxi from the airport. They give you a receipt. Don't give them the receipt unless they take you where you're supposed to go. They're gonna try and take you to another hotel. Dude, we land there. We get the right taxi. They try to take us to another hotel. They won't take. They say our hotel burned down. They drive us somewhere else. So we're like, this is ridiculous. We
You're
get-
like, we're in this scam.
yeah, we're now. This is that thing I read about. Cool, it's happening to us. So we're like, this is ridiculous. We want to go to our hotel, and they're like, fine, you can get out right here. And now we're like, we're not getting scammed. We're just standing with our bags in the middle of New Delhi, dude.
Here's the problem with the stand your ground against the scams in some foreign place. One, you're scamming me probably in some places for about $3.
Yes.
And two, there is a cost sum analysis of I'm not going to go for this, but I am fucked right now. Where the fuck
Yes.
am I? How do
Yeah,
I
yeah,
even
yeah.
get a cab?
Yeah. Well, there's also like I've since changed my philosophy on traveling to places like this, and I was battling it in Italy. In India, it was different. I just was always like constantly like I'm not trying to I don't want to be ripped off because I'm a tourist.
Right.
And then you realize it's a couple more bucks to them. It's nothing to you. Get ripped off. That's my philosophy.
Because
is
also
that,
it's like, how much time am I going to spend and discomfort am I going to take to not get ripped off?
it's time, it's discomfort, it's nothing. If
It's a simple thing of like, let's just say water's here are $1. And Sal Volcano will not pay more than $1 for a water.
Oh,
And
I'm by that, too.
billionaire. Yeah, and he's like, they're like $1.50. He goes, no, it's $1. And they're like, sir, $1.50. Like, it's Central Park, man. It's $1.50. And he goes, then I'll move on. And like, here's a millionaire who will go thirsty because it's $1.
But the thing, just specifically in New York, if you start putting it back, 90% of the time they'll say, fine, it's $1.
So there is a moment where you could go where they're like, hey, let's say water costs $1 somewhere, and they go $2, and now you're on vacation. Even if every single time they charge you $2, it's going to add another 12 to your trip. But just go. There's a moment where you can go, no, $1, and they go, okay. That you can take that moment. It's not like you have to just give in to every scam.
Sure.
But you don't go super hard. They're like 2 or nothing. They're
But
like, just give it to me.
India, so it's like this should be 30 cents, not 70 cents. It's like what? Like who cares, man? And I'm not. That's maybe not exactly. I don't know the exchange rate, but my friend did say today. I was asking him about it. According to his memory or what he remembers, besides flights, he spent $500 in our month in India, which I don't know if that's right, but that's what he remembers, which is pretty crazy. Yeah.
Do you think it's just a Jewish thing, or everybody? When you're like, guess how much this meal cost?
I don't know, but it's definitely a Jewish thing. I mean, this is my cheapest Jewish friend.
I feel like it's not just Jewish. Oh, he's also Jewish?
Yeah, he's also Jewish.
I feel like it's not just Jewish because other people are like, when we had those almuerzas in Ecuador, they have them other places, I guess.
Lunch?
Just a prefix lunch.
Yeah.
Fresh juice.
Nice.
Main, 2 sides, sometimes dessert.
Mm-hmm.
And you're like, how much was it? And you're like, $2.50. And you're like, no
Whoa,
fucking
that's
way.
crazy.
But you're both like, no way.
That's crazy.
Maybe I'm more because I'm Jewish, but it's interesting.
That got me so hyped right now.
Back to India.
So anyway, then they take us to the
$500
for the month. Yeah, and this is granted, like in retrospect, I think honestly, like I felt like going to India was kind of like what you hear about women when they're pregnant. They have to forget about how bad it was to then say, I kind of want to be pregnant again. Like it was a hardcore month.
Yeah.
And now only a few years later was I like, I want to go back because it really is the most interesting place I've ever been. But like, so that first scam. So luckily another taxi comes by. They take us to the hotel. But then I'm just telling you, like 10 minutes out in the streets in Delhi or anywhere else in India is like, you like walk around for like 10 minutes and then you come back to your hotel, you close the doors and you're like, fuck. That was so intense.
It's overwhelming.
Dude, it's so loud. There's so much noise. There's so many people. It's so chaotic. Everyone's trying to sell things to you, or like they sell things by like grabbing your hand. That's the things they will grab your hand.
What?
Yeah, dude. Like, all right. So I actually found this.
Do it. So I'm just. I'm just walking, or am I reaching?
They're just like my friend, or maybe they'll put something on you or something like that. They're like in. They're the sale is halfway done by the time you can say no. So the first I read this in my notes today, and I forgot this happened the very first day. We're walking around New Delhi. We pass through a park. A guy walks out from behind a bush, and he's like, "My name is Muhammad Ali. I'm an ear cleaner. Would you like your ears cleaned in the park?" Do you see what I'm saying? Like, I don't know how to respond to that. I don't know the right price. I don't know how to. I don't know if I need my ears
this
cleaned.
Park. It's like, get away from me.
Yes.
Get away.
Yes. It was funny. The cool thing is that they were like, this is pre-internet, but they were already like ahead of time with reviews because he had a book of testimonials of people saying like Muhammad Ali is the greatest of all time. He cleaned my ears. So I remember one guy wrote Muhammad Ali gave me an ear abortion. Like they were saying like, and dude, you're like, how are you gonna clean my ears? It's a fucking kebab skewer. It's a metal spear. That is, you're just gonna let some dude in the park just go to town.
Who doesn't have to go by any sort of like FCC laws.
No.
Right.
Isn't the FCC for broadcasting?
Whatever it is, you know what I mean? ADA, whatever.
The American Dental Association has nothing to do with this guy's ear cleaning.
It's like the tuk-tuks or whatever. They get my motorcycle and I'll drive you somewhere.
Yeah.
It's like these aren't regulated by the government. It's some guy.
Well, you just got to assume that like people, it's bad business to fuck people up,
right,
and you don't want to get in trouble with the law or anything. So there's that. But I'm
and
just
most
saying,
people
like,
don't want to just deafen someone.
Yes, but I'm just not letting a dude in the park go to town on my ears.
Like either way,
I'm not like no. It's like I was like third generation, dude. You'd think by third generation you'd get a kiosk at the mall or something besides a bush in the park to sell your ear cleaning wares. I'm saying that.
Hey everybody, Ari Shaffir here to wish you a happy July 4th. Don't blow your fucking finger off this year. How about? You're down 2 already from the last 2 years. I get it. It's a birthday, but why do you got to blow your fucking finger off? Anyway, I'm here to tell you about Louis Katz. He's a great comedian, and maybe you've never heard of him. His new special is out right now on YouTube called The Best Comedian You've Never Heard Of, and it might be true. He's one of the top 20 underrated comedians list. Yeah, him, Soder, God damn, there's a lot. Sean Patton, maybe Attell. He's rated, but he's underrated too. I don't know, man. Doug, there's a bunch of people. He's also going to be performing in Edinburgh this year. I won't be there, but he will be. And I know you're going to be looking for a show, and I'm telling you for a fact that's a fucking winner. If you're going to Edinburgh, you should check out Louis Katz at the Counting House at 8:30 p.m. every day. Stay sober just long enough to see Louis Katz. Finish off getting drunk. Start with the 2 at the show, and then keep it going and get fucking throw up drunk like you were meant to at the Edinburgh Fringe Comedy Festival. It's his first time there. Wish him good luck. Bring him some weed. I don't think he smokes anymore. Put some fucking money in his bucket. God, just check out the show. Counting House, 8:30 p.m. Guaranteed it's going to be a fucking good time. I don't deliver that much. I don't deliver that message much. He's also going to be doing Edinburgh preview shows in Eau Claire, Wisconsin, Brea at the Improv, July 10th, July 25th and 26th at the Brooklyn Comedy Club in Brooklyn, New York. Check out all his tour dates at louiskatz.com. For myself, I just want to wish you a happy July 4th and don't do mushrooms. You know why? Because we got Shroomfest coming up. July 20th, 21st, and 22nd. I'm gonna fucking burn. Yeah, get those. Get on that, guys. Just take some mushrooms and do them during that day and join us. There's also, I got Shroomfest shirts available, not for me, my own profit, but for the profit of the universe. The artist, all the proceeds go to the artist at Abracadaver. Really cool fucking designs on that Shroomfest shirt this year. Get them at arishafir.com/merch, where you can also find a link to the Patreon, patreon.com/arishafir, and also grinders, vinyls, and so forth and so on, and sign up for the mailing list. Guys, let's get back to the fucking episode. I'm burning out here. I can't break in anymore. Subscribe before I do. Wherever you're watching or listening, hit subscribe. Now let's get back to the fucking episode.
There's like it's a city, but there's animals. I can't remember if there's cows in Delhi or not, but there's cows, there's monkeys. Dude, I mean, you've traveled enough to know that monkeys, very cute, but very evil. You don't know how to deal with them.
Do you ever see them steal anything?
Oh, fuck yeah, dude. They go, and everywhere had different monkey advice. Some of them like, you got to stare them down. Other ones are like, never look them in the eyes.
One in the
yeah,
eye.
that's why I've heard both. Don't take their picture. Like,
and
they hate the
if they're right there,
paparazzi.
if you look them in the eye, they're like, what the fuck do you want?
Yeah.
You want business?
yeah,
So you have to like
They're
look
so
away as
crazy.
they're coming right here.
Dude, and they're a crew. It's a bunch of monkeys. I mean,
in Hong Kong, they said, oh, better put your, don't take any plastic bags like out. You have to keep them in your, non-visible.
Okay, that
they
makes sense.
do plastic bags as food's in there. Just grab it.
Sure.
And they're like, and then monkeys know once you put your lips on something, the whites are just like, take it. I don't want it anymore. So if they just touch the straw of a Starbucks thing, that Starbucks thing is theirs.
yeah.
All they gotta do is touch it.
I mean, that's the thing is like you don't want to get. I mean, touch from a monkey, you're like, what disease did I just get? You know what I mean?
Monkeypox.
So yeah, monkeypox, the new AIDS. Who knows what it is? I'm not saying that monkeypox is the new AIDS. I'm saying this. They could also give you the new AIDS.
Yeah.
just
Exactly.
just
Yeah.
saying.
It's all on the table with monkeys.
Like here's an example of
And
like
gouging your eyes out.
what?
It's always a
They could
possibility
do
with
that.
monkeys. It's
Dude,
like I
they're
just
super
I don't know.
strong.
Yeah.
But like this is an India thing. This
yep.
didn't happen while I was there, but this is a story that like kind of encapsulates like what going to India was like. They had a monkey problem. I forget if it was in Delhi or in a city in India.
Mm-hmm.
Their answer to the monkey problem: bigger guard monkeys. Do you see what I'm saying? Like this is what's going on in certain parts of this country. Like it's intense, dude. And like all right, think of the craziest homeless person you ever seen in New York.
Saw him today.
All right, cool. Now think of him covered in boils, wearing a diaper, holding a trident. Do you see what I'm saying? Everything is next level.
Wow.
It's next level. It's like a supervillain. You know what I mean?
Wow.
It's just everything was just super intense.
How long till you got over the what the fuckness of it all?
Never.
Never.
I mean, it was just like
Like you're
so-
getting ready to leave for the airport.
Wait,
you're still
so
like, what?
so we're like going around. So that's one scam that happens to me. Then like I'm walking around one day.
How'd you get to your hotel?
Then another taxi happened to be driving by. We're like, take us to the hotel, and they took us. So thank God that happened. So
Those
we got
airport
to the hotel.
taxis are the ones.
Yeah. Well, you know what was dumb was we didn't follow it the whole thing. This is also like we're also like 21 and not sure how to really assert ourselves properly. Like the whole key with it was that you don't give them the receipt until they take you where you want to go. And I think we'd already given them the receipt.
Is that, can I get
So-
a receipt, please?
yeah.
You're like, oh, I thought we weren't supposed to, but
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, right. You're not.
You know,
supposed
well, you have to get all three people on
in
the
New
same
York,
page.
it's like put the meter on.
Yeah.
And because it's like, oh, he just forgot. It's like he forgot on purpose.
Oh, dude, my guy at the airport the other day was like banging on the meter, pretending like it was broke, and he's like, "This thing, it doesn't work. How much would you pay me?" I'm like,
Hey,
he's like-
no big deal, man. I'll just write down your medallion number and I'll call it in. He's like, no, hold on, it'll work.
and then it works. It's magic. So I just didn't know how to be like a little bit more. as far as giving
this thing doesn't work. Oh my God!
Yeah.
What? I don't know. Jesus, dude, I live here.
Yeah, I know. But I would be giving with the money and then a little more forceful with like that tact. Not forceful, just like it's just all three dudes have to be on the same page. You know what I mean? So it was like hard to communicate. So then I'm walking around. We're walking around Delhi, and a guy saddles up next to me, points down at my shoe. I look down at my shoe. There's a piece of shit.
I just want to make sure you're still on. Yeah.
There's a piece of shit perfectly centered on my shoe. Another one of the scams that I read about. So what they do is they shit shoe you. You never heard? This never happened to you? You got shit shoeing, man. It's a real scam. They walk up. Somehow they have perfect aim with this shit. It's like a pile of shit right on your shoe. And then they happen to be shoe cleaners. They happen to be shoe cleaners. So like, hey man, looks like you need your shoes cleaned.
And you do.
Oh no, I read about this scam. So now I'm.
But it's too late. You already got me the shit on my shoe. I do need it clean now.
That's what I'm saying, dude. I didn't. I'm like, I'll clean it myself. I'm not falling for this. There's no way out of it once you got shit shoed. I mean, dude, and I'm a germaphobe. So I'm like, I clean off the shoe. I had to I marinated the shoe in hand sanitizer. You know what I mean? Like I'm just like, I have to wear this. This is the beginning of my trip.
It's also not like a high level shit. It's not a Wall Street shit.
No,
it's
I mean,
a New Delhi
it's
fucking
a perfect,
recycled shit.
It's a perfect, but their aim is like, it's a perfect dollop right there. Like, perfect. Like, there's none on your pants. There's not anywhere else.
Oh, my God.
So, like, I'm like, wow, every scam that they warned us about is happening, right? So, by now, I'm, like, paranoid about it. Now, the last scam that I read about was a hotel restaurant will poison your food. Poison your food. Then they call the paramedics. They got to deal with the hospital. They get in on the medical bill, and you got to go to the hospital, and you come back. So now I'm fucking paranoid about that, right?
What?
Right. So I'm like, this is gonna happen to me, and I read about that, and I'm after these two scams happen. I'm like, I got to be on the lookout for scams. I go to a restaurant. They just keep giving me rice. They keep giving me rice. I'm like, this rice is poisoned. They're trying to poison me. Only afterwards I realize I'm in India. Of course they're giving me rice. No one is poisoning me with the rice. Like I'm just saying the level of paranoia I'm at.
Yeah, because you've already been scammed twice.
I've already been scammed twice.
These are all coming true.
Both my friends got crazy sick. I'm the only one who didn't get sick.
I want to talk about that.
So
for sure.
like,
that
I mean,
seems like a rite of passage in India specifically.
Well, dude, it's like, so their toilets are Asian style toilets with just like the hole and the 2 foot marks on either side.
That's another thing I want to talk about.
And it's like,
had you ever seen these before?
It might have been new to me then. I mean, I knew about it going into it, but I wasn't sure how. So my one friend's got a big ass. So his center of gravity's fucked up. He's a tall dude with a big ass, you know? So it was very difficult for him to do this. If you were properly
trained,
fibered up,
oh yeah,
and you got the thigh muscles, it is a cleaner dump.
Say that. They say that.
It is.
They say that.
Dude, the fact that your cheeks are coming together and creating a Rorschach test out of your dookie is disgusting.
It's bad.
Yeah,
right.
When you're squatting,
this is wide open.
You're wide open. It's just like a direct shot. Now, whether I then want to afterwards wash my asshole with my bare hand in water.
Just dump. It's from a water bucket that someone else has dipped their hand in after touching their shitty ass. So the water's not like a running water. Sometimes it is. But it's just like, where's this water from even? I don't even want to touch my hand. And then put that in, and you gotta like kind of.
Yeah.
And then back in the water.
I bring a paper everywhere I go. I roll toilet paper everywhere.
But then where do you put the toilet paper afterwards?
There's a trash can usually in there also. You know what I mean?
How bad does that trash can smell?
Well, I was used to that from Brazil, because Brazil also
has the same.
It's not that their plumbing is bad, so they say to not flush the paper. So I'm used to there being a tiny stinky trash can.
I think the United States is in the minority.
Yes.
With
garbage disposals,
with flushing
all that shit. Yeah. So anyway, I'm just like, my friends. I don't know what made.
You never got diarrhea?
Someone told me to take garlic pills every day, a garlic supplement. I don't know if that's what did it, but my friends got so sick that by the end, I was just so not trying to be sick that I was only eating naan, like just bread, like just the bread, nothing else. I'm like, my friends look like Freddie Mercury at the end of Behind the Music. You know what I mean? Like,
did they stay sick?
No, they got better. It was funny when they were sick. One guy gave us advice. He was like, he was like, eat yogurt. Poison kills poison. We're like, whoa. It was such crazy advice.
Damn, dude.
But they both got like, I mean, it's also because you're like that sick and there's not a toilet to aim it down. Sometimes these shits would just be like pollocked. The bathroom would be pollocked, dude. It was bad news. They both lost so much weight. But before, so there's like, that's all happening. So they both get sick and I'm getting nervous about it. You could also always get an English breakfast, which is like, toast, eggs,
Would you get those?
Yeah, in the morning, yeah. I mean, that's the thing is everywhere I go, I'm like, I want to eat like the locals do.
Yeah.
And you know what? After 2 weeks, a month of that, it's like, I don't
give me
eat
some
like
eggs.
this. It's not about eating American food. It's about eating a variety of foods. Like I don't eat any kind of one. Like
What
how
did
many,
you? Yeah, what did you eat? Where did you eat there? Like street stalls,
all
restaurants,
kinds of places, all kinds of restaurants. We tried to ask the people what they liked, and I mean, it's strangely enough, I can't remember the food as much. But one thing I did do was
Except none. Yeah.
I tried this thing called Bhang Lassi. Do you know about Bhang Lassi?
I know Lassi is like the milkshakey.
Yeah, it's the yogurt drink. Bhang Lassi is when they mix up a hashish and you get fucked up. So,
What?
So supposedly you can order these Bhang Lassis. And the weird thing about India is there's parts that are like, there's like a Muslim state where you can't even drink. And then some states you can buy opium from a government store. That's the range within India, right?
Wow.
So in some places, I don't think this, I had Bhang Lassi. So Bhang Lassi is hashish mixed with water. So these dudes are showing us around, I think Jaipur, which is in Rajasthan. It's like this red city.
Rajasthan's like the state.
Rajasthan's a state, yeah. It's kind of like if you make, there's like a triangle of like common tourist places in.
Goa is a big one.
Well, see where Delhi is up there.
Uh-huh.
This map is very old.
It's
Delhi, and then if you go left, there's Jaipur, and if you go right, there's Agra, which is where the Taj Mahal is. So that's a very common tourist thing to do.
Kathmandu,
It's very
Lucknow.
small. That would be only like this much of it, and
Interesting.
we saw more than that. We also ended up going like all the way to not to Calcutta, but we went through the north through here. So anyway, we go to this place Jaipur. These people are showing us around they just glommed onto us by they'll just glom
Which people?
just like a dude in the street will like try and be your tour guide, and they'll just like make something up and be like, how come I remember what he said. He was like, how come Americans hate us so much? Or like they'll put something on you that will make you want to say like, want you to be defensive and be friendly to them.
It's like
And then you
Show
got to
me.
be nice to them. Do you see what I mean? Like it's a whole thing.
it's like these scammers, not the scammers, but the ones that just want you to sign their fucking, be kind to animals or vote, whatever.
No.
And they go, "Hi, nice day today, isn't it?" And you're like, "Oh yeah." It's like, "Hey, were you voting this year?" And you're like, "Oh, you motherfucker, you fake nice to me."
No.
So that's what they do. They figure out a way just to get in.
Yeah. Well, and so they're showing us around. They're like going to take us to. I'm like, do you know where to get Bhang Lassi? They're like, okay, we know a place. Take us to this little hole in the wall place. And when I say little hole in the wall, I mean literally. Hole in the middle of a wall, dude. This dude is
What?
sitting there. I don't know how he
What?
got into the hole in the wall. It's a hole in a wall. There's a single light bulb. He's like, the Bhang Lassi, it's hashish, so it looks like mud. He's about to mix it up. I'm like, please use my bottled water. Like he's just mixing mud into my water. Like
What?
and I drink it and I get like really high. I got super high. It was kind of
It was
awesome.
good.
Yeah, it was good. So we did that once.
You're like, can you just? I get the hash part.
Yeah.
Your water's disgusting.
Yeah. Please put I mean, it was mixing. Do I want his slurry mixed with his water or my water? It was all gross. So we did that there. I'm trying to think what else.
Guys, let's be honest. I think most men in America would wear a T-shirt every day of their lives if they could, but they can't. Because when you wear a T-shirt, it doesn't look stylish. Yeah, you look like a young child trying to fit into a young child's world. Yeah, but with Katz clothing, they make stylish, breathable, comfortable T-shirts that make you feel dressed up, not down, like me. You show up for a date dressed like me in some fucking Ruka T-shirt that's got holes in it from use over the years, that fucking breaking everything down. Yeah, they go, what, are you trying to look like a child? Stylish, breathable, wrinkle-free wear that you guys can all enjoy. Yeah, I love it myself. Wear them all the time. Who doesn't love a fucking discount? Katz Clothing's got you covered. Embrace the summer state of mind with Katz. For a limited time, You Be Trippin listeners get 20% off your entire order when you use the code TRIPPIN at checkout. That's 20% off your order at KatzClothing.com with promo code TRIPPIN. Yeah, that's right. CUTSclothing.com. Support the show. Tell them I sent you. Experience a perfect blend of style and comfort with CutsClothing.com. Take your life back. Now let's get back to the episode.
Oh man, we on the place with the opium. That was awesome.
You took opium?
Yes, it came in like these little like balls, rubber balls.
How much was it? Do you remember?
Everything was cheap.
Nothing, pretty much.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you put it in this tea and then you just kind of drink it and like, dude, that opium, it's like, dude, you're like, I get why they fought a war over this. This
What's
shit
the
is
feeling?
great. Oh, it feels so good. It feels like you're sinking into velvet, man. It feels so good. You know all those it's like stoned but warmer and deeper. You have weird dreams though, a little bit on it. Well, also we're all on anti-malaria pills, so we're having crazy anti-malaria dreams
not
on top
nightmares,
of it.
actually dreams, vivid
Yes,
dreams.
very vivid dreams.
Yeah, the malaria pill.
Yeah.
That mixed with, sometimes, I don't know if you had this, quitting weed, which right about the 8-day mark anyway. If you quit weed, then you're like, the dreams start. The malaria and that,
Whoa.
it's nuts. Yeah.
It's weird they were like always like violent dreams, and like I had very violent dreams. I remember one I had there was, you know, that Dali Salvador Dali painting where there's like the spindly elephants.
Uh-huh.
I had like a spindly elephant like come at me and my family and like gore one of us in my dream.
And you could like, it like seems so real.
Well, it's
You
just I could remember it. I mean, like and then I had one where like you remember Baron Munchausen? There's like an angel of death who's like a black feathered wings and like a skeleton, and it was like him, the angel of death, like holding me in a headlock and like repeatedly shooting me in the head with a gun. It was intense. Anyway, so those are the dreams I would have. But let me think what else. Oh, so we go to Agra where we see the Taj Mahal. It's beautiful. This is the craziest thing. So one of my friends is a redhead dude. Instead of looking at the Taj Mahal, because there's India's so big, they're mostly it's Indian tourists. They're looking at him because they never seen a redhead before. They're like they want to take pictures with him.
Wow.
It was like they were just so blown away to see a redhead.
Right, they're
dude.
Indian tourists go, let's go to the big, like the Smithsonian. We go to the Smithsonian.
Yeah, dude.
And it's like foreigners too, but it's all
Yeah.
that's an American thing to go to.
Yes.
Wow.
Well,
so the Taj Mahal is all people from small town India.
Yeah. I mean, it's
And
just
they're
like,
like-
why not go see the Taj Mahal? It's
And they're seeing a
incredible.
redhead. Were they taking pictures with him?
Oh, yeah. They were blown away. They wanted to touch it. They were just like, what is this?
Isn't that the craziest thing?
Yeah.
You feel like a celebrity.
Yeah. Oh, and the other thing that's funny is that like Indian dudes, you've probably seen it sometimes here. Well, sometimes they'll like dye their hair henna red, like it looks really funny.
Oh, yeah.
It's like not a realistic red, but like they would always they'd give him props, like, hey, what's up?
Dude, I had a monk in Myanmar go up to me, bald monk. I had shaved my head before I moved out there. And he's like, hey. Like, we're the same. And I was like, sweet. I was like a foot and a half taller than him. Wow, yeah, they take pictures of you. That we had that in somewhere outside a big temple, and it was like all these blonde chicks from Canada, and they were like lined up, and it was like, yeah, people have never seen that.
Yeah, it's incredible. It's incredible, dude. And I mean, then we so for a big part of this trip, we just hired our own driver. We had our own driver. It was that affordable. I mean, dude, we had a pedicab at one point. You know, a bicycle. I forget what they're called. They're tuk there, whatever they call it.
Yeah.
Maybe they call it something different there.
Probably something different.
We asked them. We said like, my friend was just fucking around. He's like, how much to go to Nepal? Like, and he like quoted us a price. He would have taken us by bike to another country,
Wow.
dude.
Like, all right, well.
He was like, I mean, which is kind of rude to ask because clearly the guy needed the money.
And
but
he's
it's
like,
just
nah. He goes, okay, fine, half price. We're like, no, actually,
yeah,
I'm not going
yeah,
to Nepal.
yeah,
Like,
they-
a quarter price. You're like, oh, dude, I'm sorry. They're so desperate. How about I just give you $1? Like, I'll name my son after you then.
We also got like this guy that my friend worked for was like, you gotta get their native clothes. The I forget the name of the men's clothes. Maybe they even call them pajamas, but they look like pajamas. You know what I mean? Like it's
I
like
see pajama being an Indian word.
It is an Indian word. It is an Indian word. Pajama. There's a few other words that are like that. It's the thing where it's like a collar, but like a t-shirt collar, but button down here.
Yep.
Do you know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
And then like flowy pants. So we got tailor-made like outfits like that. Like so
Sick.
we're like
Sick.
are we gonna fit in? Like no, we don't fit
No.
in more. Like we look ridiculous.
It's this theory that my friend told me he didn't want to take his camera around. He was a photographer guy
Uh-huh.
because he didn't want to seem like a tourist.
Uh-huh.
And they're like, well, man, what do you think you're going to seem like as a 6-foot white guy in Indonesia? Do you think you're not going to
Yeah.
seem like a tourist? And
Yeah.
he was like, yeah, what am I doing? Just lean into it.
Yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah.
So we finally
I love that feeling, though, of like, I don't want to seem like a tourist.
yeah.
What is that?
Well, everyone hates tourists. But it's you. You are what you,
You
are.
are.
A tourist.
You are.
You can't not be a tourist. You just got to be try and be the most respectful tourist. So, and then we go to another temple in Khajuraho where it's like this ancient temple, and then carved in the side of the temple are all the Kama Sutra moves. So it's like this, like
No
it's, yeah,
way.
yeah, it's an ancient
No
temple of porn.
way.
It's incredible. Yeah, it's awesome.
Wow.
Yeah, but then they're so conservative. They're like, dude, like we never saw any women. Like hardly any women in the streets. Well, first of all, when you see a woman, like the saris are so beautiful, like from the rich to the poor. Like,
Dude,
even
you see them kind of party sometimes, or Indian restaurants when they're dressed up, like, and you're like, damn,
but-
you guys look nice.
But this isn't even dressed up. It's like the average like working class like farmer lady is wearing the most magnificent, like beautiful outfit. And also, so you never see women, and it's like after not seeing women for that long. At some point, we saw a movie, which I'll get into in a second. Like someone shows an ankle, and you're like, "Damn, look at that ankle!" Like you haven't seen women. At least, also because I'm a young dude.
I call it golf course syndrome.
What?
Golf course syndrome. Because women don't really play golf. So when you're on the golf course, you're just around men, old Asian guys, young white guys, whatever, and then you see a woman, 44-year-old fucking mother of two fairways over. Within an hour, you already got golf course, and we're like, ooh, she's showing some knee. It's not even like
Totally.
you're faking. You really are like now turned on because there's none.
100%, dude. That ankle was fucking was hot.
Was doing it, yeah.
So but anyway, so we rent the car. We see the Kama Sutra temple, and then they drive us all the way to Varanasi, which is the city on the Ganges where they take the dead.
Wow,
Yeah,
you
and-
saw that.
Dude, Varanasi was my favorite place. It's so trippy, man. It's so crazy.
You saw them putting out the dead bodies, and
We could smell them. You could smell because they burn them and they put them out there. And not only that, so what happens
the
there
River
is-
Ganges.
Yeah, yeah. And then they got temples up and down it. And it has this really it's weird, man. Certain places have this weird, like, ancient, like, kind of haunted feeling. New Orleans kind of feels that way a little bit. And this is weird to compare those two because they're very different. But it just had this very ancient, weird vibe there. And also...
Gods of America says New Orleans in the book Gods of America.
Yeah.
Says New Orleans is actually not part of America by the gods.
Oh, I
It's
can
just
see
like
that.
it's in the borders, but it's not. It's actually a different place than
Yeah,
America.
yeah. It is on. It's like it's actually the only one of the few places that really has maintained their own culture within America. But that's a whole nother thing. Shit, you could do
a
New
whole
Orleans
nother-
stories
I
on
could
this.
do New
on
Orleans,
this
yeah.
thing. But so what happens is if you're poor and you want to be buried there, if you die in front of someone's storefront, they got to pay for your funeral. So there's all these people that are trying to that are going there to die, so they can have this kind of burial where they get.
And so the storefront guy's like, "Get out of here!"
Yeah,
Like, I'm
well,
close.
the-
Like, get out of here!
Yeah. And then it's like, just like you're in an internet cafe. Oh, and the cows that are walking around free, dude. These cows. I mean, I don't know if they're. It felt like the Asian cows are like bigger than
Free
American
roaming?
cows, dude. And they're so big. It's like a dinosaur. I mean, it's like a tank, man. They're huge. So there's that.
What
and
was the
there's-
smell of the dead bodies?
It's just like burnt. It's like burning. What's burning?
barbecue.
Yes, like a burny,
Wow.
ashy smell.
Did you see them?
I think so. Yeah, I mean, no, I don't know if I saw a pile of bodies or anything like that. It wasn't like.
What
it
do
was
they
like
do
seeing
one by one?
arm-
They take it out of a pile and chuck it on the
I think
fire?
they just. You can just smell it. I'm
Is
sure
it like
was
one
a
of those
little
things
more
where it's a
private.
boat and they set the boat on fire? Like
No,
like
that's
a
Vikings.
Viking?
That's Vikings. That's some other shit. I think they just burn them up, ash them up, and then throw the ashes in there. So maybe there's an incinerator. Like I didn't see the exact workings of that. So then I'm walking around this ancient city, and there's all these different temples on the side of this river, and this guy comes up to us. He's like, "You want to see pictures of Goldie Hawn?" And we're like, "Fuck yeah, we do." And this guy's sales pitch is that Goldie Hawn goes to this dude Papu's silk shop. He's got all these pictures with Goldie Hawn, and that's how he gets you to go to the silk shop. And then we went to the silk shop and bought all the silk from Papu because he's down with Goldie Hawn.
Wow.
Yeah, that was a trip, and it was just so that's where we go to see this movie Gadar, which is the #1 top-grossing film in India that year, I believe.
Okay.
It's in the theater there.
Bollywood, like a Bollywood
Yes.
movie. Dude, movie theaters in general in foreign countries are a great way to show the difference between your culture and someone else's. The way people do movies.
It's sitting down to watch this movie was the most physically difficult thing I've ever done in my life.
Why?
We got seats upstairs. There's no air conditioning.
It's hot.
It's
That's number
3
one.
hours long, dude. Just sitting there was like unbearable.
What snacks do they have?
Dude, it was just hard to get in.
remember.
This movie was hot, man. It was hard to get a ticket. We're getting in there. It's
It was like Titanic week 1.
yeah, man. It's like this action drama that takes place during the partition when Pakistan split from India, when there's all this like violence, stuff like that. Dude, you think gun violence in movies is bad? Try sword violence. It's so hardcore. They're just going through this train, just hacking fools, man.
Wow.
It's like crazy. And then there's a song, you know?
That they all dance?
Yeah, man. I mean, just that.
What a weird part of Bollywood that it's like you got to dance.
They love the musical. They love these, and they love them long. I haven't seen that RRR movie yet. Have you seen that this
Is that
year?
new?
Yeah. People love it. They say it's amazing. You haven't heard about this? You got to see it. From what I hear, I haven't seen it, but people are just going nuts for
Why?
it. Let's turn that air back on. It's supposed to be really good. It's supposed to be like a Bollywood one that's like very entertaining, that's like long, but like the action is dope, and it's just got to get it off this like
Cool.
yeah, there we go. Oh my god. No, get it off the eco. The eco.
There you go.
No, not that one. No. There we go.
There it is.
So let me think what else. So
Wait. Okay, so hot in there. Were people like talking during the movie?
I don't remember.
It's tough. 20 years ago.
I just remember it being like so draining. Maybe there was nowhere to even
How
get
was the
water.
food? Was this food spicy? Was the food?
Dude, the food, I tell you, the spiciest food I had was just on the airline getting there. It was the spiciest food I've ever had. It was like, I can't even eat this. This hurts.
Really?
Like, it's painful. Yeah, this food was so spicy. I remember it being very good. I wish I was like, I got scared. I'll be honest. I got scared after my friends got so sick. I got scared to eat, to be more adventurous. Like I just didn't want. It seems so bad. I mean,
you don't want to get that food poisoning. Foreign
Yeah.
food poisoning it just sucks. It's
Yeah.
diarrhea, barfing combined. It's
Yes,
just like,
yes, exactly. Both holes exploding.
And then you're like, I need to take this pill, but I'm like, I got to hold this pill down at least 20 minutes to
Yeah.
get into my system, and I can't. That means I can't have any water with it because
Yeah.
a sip of water. Got to follow it right from a barf
yeah,
to quickly eat it.
yeah, man.
Oh.
It was
Because you
nuts.
don't want to be picking a half barfed pill out of a shit squat toilet in India.
That's just-
Were there any chicks there? Did you hook up with anybody?
No, there was no women. Dude, there was no
Where'd
women.
you stay? Hostels?
Yeah, we stay like it levels up from hostels. You know what I mean? So it's all like we always had our own room and our own bathroom.
Did you meet other travelers?
Not really, man.
Okay.
I mean, on the way back, this is like so. Then we take the train to our last stop, which is Puri, where they have this Jagannath festival, which is where the word juggernaut comes from. Jagannath.
Oh.
They pull basically these like giant like towers on wheels, and they pull these things through the streets, and it's like a crazy parade. So there's all these like Hare Krishnas, but like white Hare Krishnas. I think, or I don't know if all Hare Krishnas are white. Anyway, what we would think of as like Hare Krishnas there to see that festival. So we go there. You know, you ride in these trains. You reserve a seat. You reserve a bed. So they're like beds that fold down and fold up. But if you don't like occupy the whole bed, someone will just come and sit down next to you, and just put their shit on your bed.
Wait, what are you talking about? A train from one city to another?
So you take these long ass trains. You know, this crazy train system in India. So you know they have what it is like it's 3 levels of cots.
And you don't get the room?
No. There's 3 on one side, 3 on the other side. We couldn't get our own. We just didn't get our own room.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
you know,
okay.
you fold those top ones up during the day.
So you can sit.
You all
So
sit.
now you
So
have a
you can
bench.
3 sit down, and then you can lie on them. But if you like brought your knees up while you were sleeping, bag or person at the end of your bed when you woke up.
No.
Like you had to like take
What?
up the space.
Really?
Yes. I'm
What?
serious.
What? Because some people don't get a seat? It's just like,
yeah,
it's
they're
sort
just
of
like
Amtrak.
they're
Or
just
like, oh,
like,
shit, I need
they're
this
just like
chair.
fuck it. This is a good space. Boom. Like you're not taking it up. What are you gonna do?
You're not taking
and, like,
it up.
What
What are you
am I
doing?
gonna do? I'm not gonna do anything. I didn't do shit. So we take that the whole way there. Then we do this is where we do the opium. I remember the guidebook said people get a Puri paralysis, and I think it's due to the opium where they don't go somewhere else. It's like on a beach, and
It's
it was
Keys disease.
What?
You ever hear of Keys disease?
No.
From the Florida Keys?
Oh yes.
Just drink
yes.
all day, dude. Why
Yeah,
not?
yeah.
It's Keys disease.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Except it's opium. So we're like,
You did
it's
opium.
just like,
That's so cool.
dude, so this is
I
like
never thought you were cool before now.
Oh well, thank you. So we're walking on like this is just like a memory I have. Like we're walking on the beach. There's like pigs. There's beach pigs, and this lady comes up to us, has a small hammerhead shark, tries to sell it to us. I don't know how much. Again, I don't know a good price for a hammerhead shark. I don't know what I'm going to do with a hammerhead shark. It's like this is what I'm saying. Like just
And
these
it's
little
always,
memories
it's
of
always,
this.
it's never, it's nonstop, just like sell. That I can't handle it. It's
yeah,
too
it's
overwhelming.
it's a bit much. It's
That's
a lot.
my biggest problem in tourist cities is that once it's become a tourist city for a reason, probably. It's
Yeah.
whatever, it's cheap, arid, or whatever, or like some cool shit to see there. But once it become a tourist city, then the market around tourism starts, and then they don't leave you alone.
Well, I think it's just
Paris was great. Nobody's bugging you.
I think it's a balance of realizing there's just so many people in need, so many poor people there that they're just trying to find a hustle, and they don't
Sure,
understand
I
that
don't
the
blame them for
over
doing
hustle
it.
is going to hurt the business. It's
Because
bad for the
by the way,
business.
it hurts the business, but they will sell more. Hey, if we're in a market where you just look and they're like, oh, you look, I have this, I have this, I have this. I'm like,
Yeah.
I know you have this. That's your table full of. I assume everything here is for sale. Oh, those are only for sale, not the rest.
Well, every time you go anywhere,
Can't even look. You just got to
mean-
glance like out of the corner of your eye as you walk by. Go across the street and look at shit.
anytime you go anywhere, you realize how much better at capitalism America is. Even you go other places in America,
Like, can I help
New
you?
York and LA are better at it. Like in Brazil, they had a dude who'd sell popcorn out of his stand out front of the movie theater. No one's letting you do that in America.
no.
Get the fuck out of here. You know what I mean? We're selling the popcorn
Resell.
and get the fuck off of our property. You know
yeah.
what I mean? Like I'm just saying, like little examples of that. That's a Brazilian example, but like that's everywhere. Like there's just like a certain way of the hustle that American capitalism is like
Yeah.
really honed in
But
on.
my point is, if they do bother you, I have this,
Mm-hmm.
they will make per capita per hour more sales than if they just allow you to slowly look.
Yeah,
There's somebody
sure.
like, all right, I'll take this.
It's
So
a-
like
dude,
they don't care about
it's
you.
also another tactic. It's like, how do I get these people to leave me alone? is a sales technique,
Right,
right?
right, right, exactly.
Like I'm bugging. Yes, I know I'm bugging the shit out of you. Want me to stop? Buy
Give me some-
something.
give me
You know
some.
what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
So then on the way back, we didn't even have his nice train. So now we're on the 3 tiers. I'm like on my bed. On top of me is one of these fucking Hare Krishnas dudes. His feet are all fucked up. They're leaking like a foot juice down off the side of the bed.
Oh.
Dude. Yeah. Yes. And it was
Come
so
on.
gross. It was so
Come
nasty.
on.
It was so nasty.
How did you deal with it?
I mean, dude, I suffer. I'm just like, by the end of the trip, we're just like, we gotta get to Thailand. We just want to get to
That made you
Thailand.
have to step up.
Yeah, dude. And then we're just like Thailand. We were just like just relax, like just recovering
Wow.
basically from.
And Thailand's
from a
also
month.
that in Bangkok anyway, but not nearly like that. like
Yeah,
what you're
man. It was
describing.
just so next level the whole time. I'm trying to think
Wow.
if there's any other things that I'm forgetting that was all.
Were there hookers? Were there?
There were no women. And you know what else?
No
when you
women.
see a woman, also, this is I don't know if there's a theory or what. Like, it's almost if when you do see a woman, it's like, are they eating all their husband's food? Because the dudes are so skinny and the women are so big.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's like it just feels like they're hoarding up all the food. Is what I remember. And then you really wouldn't see that many women at all. Like we really didn't see.
Are they
any-
just at home? You don't
Dude,
know. You
I don't know.
Yeah,
it
it's
was
not-
like there
it's
were
not-
no
it's not for
women
you.
there. There were no women at all. Oh, here's another thing. Dudes there. This is the thing you have to get used to. Straight dudes hold hands with their buddies, and it's just okay to you hold your friends. You hold hands. We're friends. We hold hands, and this is where my theory came up, and I think this is a theory where places where you're not allowed to be gay, you can actually be even gayer.
Because it's
'Cause
like,
it-
well, I'm definitely not.
It
So who
doesn't
cares?
exist. Like you'll hear these
Like
stories.
when I was in high school, if you held your hand like if you're just randomly held your hand like that, limp wrist,
yes.
it would be like you'd see it, you're like, oh fuck, and then
Yeah,
like
yeah.
too late you saw it, like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, limp wrist,
Yeah,
get him.
Yeah.
But right, if the assumption is no one's gay, then it's like, what? No, just my lips.
It's not even a thing, but I'm saying it's next level. Like if I've heard the stories from certain troops.
That's why I
in
heard some
Afghanistan.
comic went to Edinburgh.
Edinburgh, okay.
Edinburgh. How do you say it?
Edinburgh.
I say
You've
Edinburgh.
you've gone
I
there
know, I
so
say
many times. You
Edinburgh,
should
and
know
somebody
better than
says,
me.
You're saying it wrong. I'm like, no, Edinburgh is to say it wrong.
That's definitely wrong.
Edinburgh. Whatever.
I think the second way, Burra.
Bruh. Anyway, there was some black comics like, they're racist, wouldn't let me in. I'm like, no, dude, they don't have racists against black here, because there's no blacks. You're way off. They're racist against maybe some Muslim immigrants or some fucking Glaswegians. They're not enough for you to fucking care about you.
I don't know if that's true. You'd be surprised how racist people. The racism.
But also blacks suck.
It's weird, dude. It's in popular culture. Shit like leaks out to different
Yeah.
places. It sucks.
So-
Well, I mean, that's the interesting thing about India because I do think they have like classism based on skin color. Some of it. I believe the Untouchables are generally darker. I think so. I'm not sure about this, so if I'm wrong about this, my apologies. But they are like, you'll find that like skin tone racism, I think, in different countries to different degrees.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'll tell you who the comic was later, but I asked, I'm like, did you not let this guy in? They're like, yeah, he was screaming coming in. He was pass out drunk. No, we're not going to let a guy like that in. And I was like, oh, he's claiming it's because he's black. They're like, what?
Wow.
You don't think we've dealt with drunks before? They were like, what are you talking about?
Well, that's the distorting thing, and one of the white privileges is to know that it's probably that our problem. We suck.
It's my behavior.
If someone's mad at us,
Yeah. White chicks never get it. They're like, I did nothing, and they just started yelling at me. Nobody does more nothings than white chicks.
Oh yeah, or the classic comedy club. We were just laughing. Which is never ever.
Okay,
true.
Okay. Back to India.
Oh wait, what the fuck was I talking about?
What were we talking about?
I was talking. Oh, so like
the holding hands.
So. And if it's not gay, so it's like, yeah, I'm fucking him in the ass. That's not gay.
Wait, they have that?
I'm not saying that, but
Right.
this is my theory, is that if there's no gay, that allows you to be even gayer. Like, yeah, we're holding hands. We're not
Love
gay.
it.
We're
Love
just
it.
making
Love
out.
it as
It's
a
not,
theory.
it's
Love it
not
as a
gay.
theory.
We wouldn't be gay. Who's gay? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, I've heard that about Afghanistan, where they're like, something about there is like women for duty, men for pleasure, or boys for pleasure, or something like that. Have you heard this before? I don't know if this is a rumor that's been propagated by the troops that go over there, or if there's like a true. I do believe there's some kind of boy love culture in Afghanistan to some extent. You never heard that before?
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway,
Boys.
yes, which is a different. Oh, but once in India, they do have this thing where they have young boys kind of dress up like girls, like with makeup on, and like dance around for you, which we did see at one place.
For money?
It was just like a performance, like a cultural performance, like little boys dancing, dressing up like girls and dancing around, like with makeup on. It was weird. It was definitely a trip.
Did you take a lot of pictures?
Yeah, I mean, hopefully I can find them for you.
At home
it's
somewhere.
just
Film.
This is, again, yeah, this is all film. It's like we definitely have pictures.
Did you what was I gonna say? Did you get drunk? Did you booze it there?
Yeah, it's something we were all into, like, we would drink the Taj Mahal and all their beers there. They have the lager beers, and we would drink their
20 ounces.
Yeah, the big ones. Yeah.
Yeah, they always have big ones in places.
Yeah,
The 20-ounce beers.
Yeah.
It's like a standard. We're like, yeah.
Well, I think they're more to be shared, or more like a bottle of wine.
Oh, yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
It's all fucking
Yeah, you want to get some beer? Yeah, let's get a beer, and then
right. But you're
pour
not
it
going to
out.
get a 60-ounce beer. You're going to be like, keep getting 20s.
Well, the other thing about those places, this is another thing. Like in Brazil, for example, they do that, and then they have little cups, and so the whole thing is that when it's really hot, you can't get a 60-ounce because it's going to get hot. It's going to warm up the beer.
Right.
You got to keep it that level. Pour out those cups and then keep it in a cooler. You know what I mean?
Oh,
and that's
right.
how you do it. And so you're only drinking, instead of a pint glass of beer, by the time you get to halfway through it, it's shitty beer.
In Vietnam and Cambodia, they put it over ice.
There you
Beer
go.
over ice.
Yeah,
Standard.
In Thailand, I saw someone. I saw an old lady at a Muay Thai fight drinking a bag of beer, like a straw in a plastic bag. It was awesome. She was so hardcore.
Wow.
She offered me a sip. It was pretty cool.
And you're like, yes, no. If you want to say like yes, but also my mom will be upset.
I'm trying to think. If
Was it dangerous? Did you feel danger there?
I mean, we had
Besides
that
the scam
thing
Yeah.
going on, and
But like, how about physical?
not
You
really.
know, a few good men danger.
No, what is that? Like a missile strike?
No, where he goes,
they're
the
gonna
poison
beam me with
danger,
soap?
like danger of dying. Goes, is there any other kind? You know what I mean? Like,
I mean, generally, and they have these big like buses. Like people do their trucks up in this, like, they decorate the shit out of their trucks, and it's like really beautiful, and it's really cool to see, like their long haul trucks. So that was cool to see. But definitely, like, the roads there are dangerous. It just felt a little bit like chaotic and hectic in general.
what did you do day to day? Like, what was your day life there?
Well, we were like going to another place and seeing what there was there,
Seeing
and
sights?
having some food and seeing the sights. Yeah, man. And, you'll find like you get like templed out kind of. You see a few temples, and you're like, all right, I've seen a lot of
Templed
temples
out.
now.
Yeah.
Especially in India where they have different religions. There's like, this is the Jain temple, this is a Hindu temple, this is a Muslim. You know what I mean? It's like there's all sorts of different ones.
And unless you're in the habit of studying the differences between temples, really, you're just like, show me something old. And Taj Mahal is a top 5 temple.
That's dope.
So like after you go Taj Mahal, the rest must just go like, dude.
Yeah, well, it's also like you get it's like getting churched out in Europe. It's like I've seen it, like,
Templed out, yep.
and every once in a while there's one that'll really stand out and like blow your mind, and then after that, you know what I mean? It just doesn't really do it
Yeah.
for you.
So then what else do you see?
I mean, man, it's just like I'm telling you, just being like
Yeah,
a 20-minute walk outside of our place made you just want to go back and like just take a minute and soak it up. I mean, Delhi's also the first time I experienced that thing where like you blow your nose and it comes out black at the end of the day.
Oh, pollution.
Yeah, it's that polluted. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And you clean your ears and it comes out black.
Wow.
You know, it was like pretty intense like that as well. I mean, it was also very hot.
Were there any weird foods? Was it like monkey brain?
No.
Like...
That is from Indiana Jones, and it's very fake. Like fake. It's super fake. All the things they're doing about India in that one. So and they get a lot of pushback on that. It's pretty racist actually when you watch it. But there is still weird shit there. But I don't think there's any.
Timor, and they're like, we just stopped eating monkey. Like this kid was like, yeah, we used to have when I was little, but I'm like 25 now, and now it's like proven to be like it's bad for you.
Yeah.
But like.
I didn't think
he had it.
It's a lot of vegetarian. Oh, one place though.
Oh yeah,
I'm like,
because of the Hindu, they can't.
Yeah,
eat
so some people don't eat pig and some people don't eat cow. You know what I mean? I remember one place. I forget where we were, but like, they just kind of like strung up a whole cow carcass and had barbecued it. I'm like, I want to try that. It was horrible. It was like the chewiest, most old, like disgusting beef I'd ever had. It was no good. That was no good.
Cow.
It was just Was it cow? I believe it was cow. Yeah, it was weird to see a full cow. You know, just kind of strung out. I wish I could remember more about the food stuff. All I really remember is that when you're on the train, so the food is that like you stop by a stop. And the vendors come up to the window, and that's where you get the food. That's where you get the snacks for the train.
Reaching out the window and just like...
they'll give you a meal, man. They'll like straight up
in a little box?
Yeah. You buy whatever snacks. You can get like samosas. They're like, and you got to do it quick because the train's going. Like, you want a samosa?
So it stops for like 2 minutes?
Yeah, it stops. They're letting people
run
off.
out.
Can I get a samosa?
Do they come on the train or just through the window?
Through the window. It's really crazy, yeah.
And what is it, like in styrofoam? Like,
dude, I can't remember if it was foil, styrofoam, or what, but I definitely know there was samosas through the window on the train.
Samosas.
Yeah, for sure.
Did people, what did you do with did people just chuck the shit out the window? Was it like littery?
I don't remember that, but I definitely know, I assume that it wasn't the cleanest, just out of my memory.
Yeah.
But neither is New York. The other day I was looking out of the window by my gym, and I'm like, this looks like it's just covered in garbage everywhere.
Garbage,
you know?
like wrappers.
Yeah, it's crazy how
looks like my hotel room on a fucking on a Saturday afternoon
on the second night.
Yeah, Adrian would always come in and was like, "What are you doing to this place?" I'm like, "I don't know, she goes, throw it away."
It's crazy how quickly you can blow up a room.
Just like, yeah, you can blow it up quick. Mm-hmm. Wow. So now you want to go back?
I would want to see the parts that I haven't seen. I haven't been to the south, which is also
Goa.
You know,
The Goa is
well, there's Goa, there's Bangalore, which is supposed to be very like advanced. There's Mumbai, Bombay. All those places.
India's massive,
huge. It's a continent. It's a subcontinent.
Yeah.
I mean, literally. And
so when people go, I went to India. That's like, oh, dude, I went to North America. Almost saying it's like,
it is.
Where
it is.
Arkansas
people say the same thing
Toronto.
About. Well, at least it's a country. People say the same thing about Africa, which is literally a continent.
Oh,
you know?
I got to show you this article about Africa.
What?
How to write about Africa.
What do they say?
By this African writer.
Uh-huh.
I mean, I got to show it to you. It's just the most demeaning stuff. This is what everyone writes about Africa, and it's so dead on.
Really?
Always have a mother figure, a fat mother figure that you're going to call mama or mama.
What, really?
Refer to it as one country, even though it's not. Even though there's massive differences. You're always trying to help them. Conservation is big. The people are pure. Unless they're going against the animals, and in which case they're not pure. I'm trying to help. I got to show you the article.
I've been to a couple different countries in Africa, and I can do a whole Africa episode on that too.
Yeah.
But Africa is a trip. But I mean, India is, like I said, it's just. I mean, there's Kerala, which is like a tropical, supposed to be beautiful tropical paradise in the south. No, there's the Himalayas. I mean, there's so many different parts.
Okay, so before we wrap up here. And where can people find you? Louis Katz.
It's Louis Katz Comedy on Instagram, TikTok.
Louis Louis
Katz. Look up that new special. Maybe it's on YouTube. Maybe it's somewhere else. We'll see if I've sold it by then.
It's out now.
Yeah, it's out.
I'll save that. I'll try to save it unless it's gonna be out never. But I'll save it still. It's out.
Yeah.
This week, right now, it's out on YouTube.
Yes,
look up
watch
Louis
it.
Katz. He's hilarious. He's
Yes,
legitimately hilarious comic.
Thank you.
His story on This Is Not Happening, which we talked about before I was exited from that. I'll still consider it my booking.
Yeah, you did book me. Yeah.
And we worked on it together.
Yeah, you did. You helped me.
It was great.
One of your tags is definitely in there.
He's funny as shit. So go look him up. But when somebody says, "Did you go to India?" Go, yeah. Like, what comes to mind? The picture, the smell, like immediately of like, oh, my trip to India was. I know there's so much you did. A month is crazy.
It's not a specific thing. It's like I keep saying, it's the most different, most intense place. Like here's what I say, for example, is like, like remember the Wild Boys travel show with the guys from Jackass?
Yeah.
And most of the time they'd look for like the craziest thing to do there. But like somehow their India episode like reminded me of India because it's just that crazy. Like they found a guy with they did a Jackass style. But here's another thing is that you find in India is that like there's more people with like crazy birth defects because they don't have the best hospitals there. So you or they're malnourished in ways that we don't even have to deal with anymore here. So I remember once in Wild Boys they found a guy with like elephantiasis of his foot and who walks around because he can't wear shoes because his foot's so damn big, and they like lick the bottom of his foot. Now I would never lick the bottom of the foot, but I definitely saw the foot. Do you know what I mean? So it's like.
And then you're like that. Yep.
Yes.
I saw those.
It's just like it's just really cool because I think traveling at its best gives you a reset. You get used to your environment and you kind of take things for granted. And when you're in a place where you see things differently, like you start noticing everything again, kind of like a baby or a kid. You know what I mean? And once you travel a lot of places, it doesn't do. It's you can't. You're chasing a high. You can't get any more. You want to get that high again? Go to India, man. It's the most different, most intense, cool place that I've ever went through.
That high going to Denmark for the first time.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
You've been to a few places.
Yes, you go to India, it's like it's going to be different, and it's very, very cool and very mind opening to see something so different. Plus, a lot of people speak English, and that's it makes it easy to get around in some weird ways. The weird thing was India. So it was India and Thailand. Sorry, now I'm jumping back. That was kind of a good wrap up, but now I'm jumping back into it. India. Everyone speaks English, but Thailand, very developed tourism industry. So it's actually easier to get around in Thailand where people don't speak English than it is in India where everyone does speak English, but they're not used to having as many tourists.
Wow.
Which is strange. But I'm just saying, I still think in India, it's like, you want to see something truly different, go to India.
I like the way you said that. The differences show, like it almost says something about your own culture almost.
Yeah, well, you just notice things. You just notice day-to-day stuff, man.
And you're like, oh, they do that different here. I read an article recently. I got to find out who it is because I'm going to keep quoting it. It's like when he got off the plane, he noticed that the sign, it wasn't English first, Spanish second, Mandarin third. It was, let's say it was China. I'm making this up. Then it'd be Mandarin first, and then English second, which was like, oh, that's weird. And then Spanish not at all.
Yeah.
But he goes, the font was different than I have in the fonts of signs in American airports.
Yeah.
Just little. Oh, the cabs here are white instead of yellow.
Yeah,
it's just like these little things that immediately like. I've never noticed the color of cabs before.
Dude, speaking of that, the car we rented was one of these Ambassadors, which is this old British car that's basically like the car in India, and they have this old, big, beautiful car that you drive around in, these Ambassadors. That's what they're called. You can look them up.
That's another thing where you see a lot of more Renaults and like cars like, what brand is this? I've never heard of it. And you're like, what? Who's making this? Some guy? And you're like, no, they sold like 80 million last year. And you're like,
well, the worst will be usually they're like how could you even live in a car that tiny? But sometimes you're like, that's a cool car, and it's from a brand that they have in America, and they just don't sell it here, and it pisses you off.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, you're just there's those little different. Every time you travel, you'll notice the little differences. In India, there's even more of them, and it's really cool like that.
What do you have an idea about travel you can share? Like you have a lot. Like what Joe List said was like, it's good to go with Louis Katz because like he knows little things that I would take for granted that you're like, hey, don't take your passport with you, put that in the safe. And you're like, oh really? Like, yeah, oh my God, yeah, you just started traveling. But little things of like that where it's like the cultural differences, what you see, it's like it makes you go, the way you said it was good. But something like that from each person, like
I mean, that would be great.
How would you travel that you can impart on anybody?
What I said before, and the other thing about like when you think someone's ripping you off, think about how much money is it really to you. Like
before you get that upset.
Yeah, before you get that upset, be like, are you still getting a deal compared to what you spend in the States?
We used to play
then let it go.
Nickel, dime, quarter poker with my friends. And if you go on a real bad losing streak, and you're like, fucking shit, you get upset. But later you're like, that was $12. So like it's actually not going to affect me financially. So you can have the feeling of really losing. But then it's not hurting you in the long run. And even the wins, you're like, but it's not going to turn your life around. But you do feel great. Exactly. Like, don't get scammed. Feel like, what the fuck? But then also like, chill, bro.
Yeah, just be okay with it, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I still recommend it, and I guess what I would want to do is I want to do it like a level up instead of trying to do it so on
Not
the
broke,
cheap.
yeah.
I would like to also in general.
But sounds like on the cheap though wasn't bad. It sounds like it was bomb.
It would be nice to make it just a little bit more comfortable.
Sure.
Like I think there was one night where like we didn't find a place, so we just like shared a room with like 3 cops that were chilling, sleeping for the night, and it was
But
like
what a cool experience over like
it was
I know
it
it's
wasn't
not
like we
luxurious.
bonded and like
Right.
played like Monopoly together. It was weird, man.
Okay, fair.
I didn't. It was not a. It was a weird vibe. Well, also the other thing is like I learned what got me from living in Brazil was that like. I mean, as a white person, my privilege was to like somewhat trust the cops.
Yeah.
And in Brazil, I learned like really cops can get away with it. If you want someone to get away with doing anything to you, it's a cop. Like they can do whatever they want. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
and especially in countries where they're just kind of where the police can be a little more corrupt, even more corrupt than they are here. You know what I mean?
That seems like those are the things that are helpful to like understand like the black experience or something. We're like, oh, I get it a little more because
Yeah.
I have finally now had an experience where cops are not for directions.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah,
And
dude.
so I'm like, oh, I know what you're talking about. I think.
Yeah, I mean, I gotta give you. See, I'm saving this, but I got a story from the Brazil one where with some corrupt cops. So I've had experiences with all that.
Okay.
But yeah, man, the that would be my thing about traveling in general is that like that waking you up, that change of perspective, and the most hardcore change of perspective you'll ever get, in my experience from traveling, was India.
Wow.
Yeah,
It's something mystical about that place.
it's cool, man. It's like there's a lot of
Did it
and
feel
there's so many different
spiritual?
sides. I don't. I'm not for
You're
me.
not that guy.
I'm not that dude.
Because that is a thing there, right?
Well, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of. I think the Buddha's from there. You know what I mean? So there's a lot of religions are from there, and there's all that kind of thing. But like, I'm just not. I'm not on that vibe.
Yeah.
But I have like, I don't know. Maybe I probably would have been done better like knowing more about it before I went. I really
It's not
went.
your thing. It's not your thing.
Well, no. Nowadays, I probably would want to research it more. I was just like, "What's that?" Like
Right.
it wasn't. I wasn't that ignorant about it. I knew. I was familiar with Indian food. I have some Indian American friends. You know what I mean? I wasn't that
Yeah.
ignorant, but I also wasn't like I'm going here to like get in touch
But
with some kind of
we're gonna
religious
wrap it
thing.
up. But you got to do what you're into. So like, I went to Dominican Republic. I'm like, I want to go to some baseball games.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're not into baseball, then that's not your thing. Or I want to smoke cigars and
Well, I think we
drink rum and
tried to
coffee.
watch a cricket game, and that is.
Oh, we didn't get the cricket.
Dude, there's nothing to get to. That shit is horrible. It fucking sucks. I think actually they recently like.
Is it like
finally-
over a few days?
Dude, it takes forever. It's so boring. I don't like any sports. And cricket is the most boring sport in the world. It's so dull. It was. I'm pretty sure we went to one. Now I think they've shortened them to like a single day.
Single day.
But it's crazy how much they love cricket.
It's you sit there and picnic all day, don't you? Is it like
I
NASCAR?
don't know what the fuck you do, man. It sucks. But my friend, the cool thing about my friend who's his mom is British, so he knows about cricket and stuff like that. And he, like when we were on the beach with the pigs, some kid like had a cricket mallet, and he was like, "Let me like." I think it's instead of pitch, they bowl at them. So he kind of knew how to do it, and that was kind of neat. You know what I mean? That he could like he could communicate in the cricket kind of thing. Whereas to me, like
It was
I don't know
boring
anything
as
about it.
shit.
Oh man, I don't like any sport, but this is the most boring of sports. Horrible.
It's a more boring baseball, which is already the most boring sport.
Yes.
It's mostly not action.
Yes. Baseball. I actually enjoy. I like baseball and
I've been there with
basketball.
friends, but if you don't know baseball, you're like, anything happen? You're like, no, not for like a couple minutes.
Well, for me, because I'm not a sports guy, sports is like I should
Having a beer.
Yeah, I should get drunk and do something different than just getting drunk around a table.
right,
What if we got
right.
drunk and looked at something?
Yeah.
That's all it is. So baseball is cool because like it's time for a snack, time for another drink. Let's catch up. You know what I mean? And there's something to watch. That's why I like strip clubs too. But
Something
that's
to watch
a
is to
separate
talk
thing.
to your friends. Like, no, leave us alone. We're just watching.
Yeah.
Here's a dollar, go away. Here's a dollar,
That's
go
honestly
away.
what it is. Like, I'm just like, I prefer that much more to like, I hate bars full of TVs. I like a bar full of naked ladies. I like people playing some kind of game.
Shooting
You know what I mean?
out of their puss.
Yeah. I mean, that's for the Thailand episode.
I just got the one. All right, Louis, thank you.
Thank
I
you, man.
appreciate it. India. Now I really want to go to India.
Yeah, you should.
Does talking about this make you go like, fuck, I want to go back?
I've always wanted to go back, but I just like it's the intensity, it's the hardcoreness. Like honestly, like my girlfriend kind of wanted. We're trying to plan a trip for next month, and we were talking about going to Morocco, and like I just kind of had street hassle flashbacks, and I'm just like, man, I'm just not trying to get street hassled anymore. Oh, part of my plan also was the way I was thinking about it. So it was kind of an odd choice. Usually if people are going to go to a place after college, sorry,
okay.
you're supposed to wrap up. They go to like Europe or they go to like a tropical beach place. And my whole thing was always like, I want to travel to developing countries because they're cheap and they're difficult. So right now I don't have money, but I have a lot of stamina. So I'm going to, instead of going to like Europe first, so it took me like, I've only been to Europe in the last few years. Before that, I was mostly traveling in the developing world.
Because it's so adventurous.
It's more affordable.
And it's like I heard there's a waterfall in this town.
Yeah.
And you're like, what? There's no Google Maps where you can just get right to it. And somebody taking you there. You're like, where? And you get someone like, what's the waterfall? Like, I don't know. Like, you have to learn for the word for water and fall. I'm like, oh. They're like over that hill and then like right. And you're like, okay.
Well, you're still down for that stuff. And to me, I'm like, I knew. Actually, it's funny because I'm saying that I think that was for when I was younger. And literally, that's how I planned it. I was like, let me do this crazy shit while I'm young.
Yeah.
I can always go to Europe. I can be 50 and go to Europe. I'm not going to want to be 50 and be bumming it around India necessarily,
Yeah.
But you will be.
Yeah, hopefully.
I think you should go.
India?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's never really been on my list, but of course it's like, well, of course I'll at some point go. It's just never been on my, you know how you have these countries on your list, your mental list of like, I don't know, something about that country I've always wanted to go.
Yeah.
Other countries like, meh. Like Russia, I'm like, no interest. But not
No
like
way.
I'm against them. I just,
It doesn't interest you?
It doesn't.
Well, you got to bring me back for the Russia episode. 'Cause I got
but
some-
like Iceland, so much. Finland, not so much. And then like Amsterdam, obviously more. I've been to all these places now.
yeah, but these are all the. This is all the ideas, and like some of them are ideas culturally. Like,
Oh yeah,
like,
some
you
of it's
don't-
just like I read some character in her story once when
Yeah.
I was young said it was his favorite place, and now
Yeah.
it's like I want to go there.
Yeah, well, that's
for
but
no
that's what I'm
reason.
saying is that like
Belize, not so much, and fucking, where are we? And like, I don't know, some countries just are in your head of like, it's a place I want to go.
but it's like
this pushes it higher.
Yeah, I think it's
Yeah.
also like when
It's also a
someone's.
place I'll assume I would go at some point. I just know I will go to India.
I just really think someone who's seen so many places, like I said,
Yeah.
you get burned out. You see some things are kind of the same everywhere. It's not that interesting. You chasing that high,
Yeah.
you'll still get the high in India.
Great.
I guarantee it.
Great. All right, buddy. Thank you.
Thank you, man.
Guys, it's been You Be Trippin'. Please subscribe. If you're watching on YouTube, just throw a comment in. Reach out to Louis at Louis Katz Comedy. Tell him you had a good time. Yeah, tell your friend about it. And fucking, I don't know. Leave in the comments the places you want to go. And if you've been to India, leave in the comments your fucking stories. Because when Kyla sees a good one, she tells me about them. And they do make me feel like they entertain me. So, all right. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Louis. That's the episode, everybody. Thank you very much, Louis Katz, for coming in. What a disgusting country that is, huh? Goddamn India. Fucking gross as shit. Sorry. Just took a puff of my fucking Olmecs cigar from Foundation Cigars. Enjoying myself. It's July 4th, everybody. Maybe you're watching this on this day. Yeah, it's America's birthday, a place I have not covered yet in this podcast. I may at some point do the national parks or certain places in America, but not yet. Not yet. Only international travel for me, or possibly a foreigner coming here on their vacations. Nick Cody. We were going to do a podcast, but then we both got too drunk and said, let's not do that. Let's just fucking get drunk at a fucking hotel bar, a shitty hotel bar in the worst area of Sydney. Like the lamest, the business district. Well, that's the episode. Guys, don't forget, if you're going to Edinburgh, and you should, it's a fun fucking time, check out Louis Katz. He's going to be at the Counting House at 8:30. Tell him I sent you. Guaranteed. That's going to be a great fucking show. He's a fucking amazing comic. Eau Claire, Wisconsin in July, as well as the Brea Improv, July 10th. Brooklyn Comedy Club, July 25th and 26th, where if you're an American and can't get to Edinburgh, and all those places, you can see a preview of his Edinburgh show, and it's going to be fucking amazing. Louis Katz is smart. He's filthy. And he's hilarious. That's all you really want in a comic. Happy July 4th, everybody. Next week, Simeon Goodson. We'll be done with America. We'll be fucking done with this goddamn country. We'll go into the country that's going to take it over next. Yeah, China, the USSC. Simeon Goodson is going to tell us about his days as a fucking DJ in Wuxi, China. Running black nights for a country that had probably 7 black people in it at the time. Subscribe wherever you're watching or listening so you can be notified of new episodes. They're all fucking bangers, guys. You're enjoying this. I know you are. I read the comments. Leave a comment with anybody you suggest. And Shroomfest, July 20th, 21st, 22nd. Get your t-shirt at arishafir.com/merch, as well as the vinyl of my special Jew. Only 1,000 will be pressed. You can sign up for the mailing list to get on a raffle to win one of the signed test pressings of that vinyl. Only 5 will be in existence. That's it, I guess. Thank you very much to YMH for producing this podcast. Thank you very much for Alan Caffey for editing it. We're having a blast. YMH people are fucking good people. Heather does not have elf ears, despite the way she wears her hair or her way her elfin ears come out of her hair. That's not a reality. Anyway, hope you enjoyed the episode. Subscribe, watch. Next week, Simeon. I think I said everything. I don't know how to say goodbye in fucking India. I mean, it's like every week I get to this point and then I fucking don't research it. Whatever. Guys, there's something I'm forgetting, but, you know, you gotta live with shit. You really just gotta live with shit. I'm Ari Shaffir, and I forget a lot, because I smoke other stuff.